What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Today's video is going to be how to be a 304 and get what you want. All right, this video is brought to you by a single mother, by the way. But before I get into the video, I got to do the YouTube stuff. The goal is 40,000 subscribers by June. It's a crazy goal. It's a big goal, but it's my goal. All right, and the only way I'm going to get to my goal is if you give me the HBO special. Do you know what the HBO special is? That's the Help a Brother Out special. All right, so go on and help a brother out. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. I'm going to give y'all a second to do that. All right, now let's get to the video. How to be a 304 and get what you want. Brought to you by a single mother. Let's see what she got to say.
Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss
Oh, copyright. Copyright. I'm sorry, I gotta skip all that. Let's go and get to it.
Through being single, because your girl was single for a good 4 years. Okay, like Stanley and boyfriend number 3. It was a huge gap, but it was situationships. It was a little bit of a whole phase. It was situationships. It was a lot of lies. It was a lot of, your girl basically got in the game and started learning the game, how to play the game. So let's talk about the whole phase and why people think that that's just like, I think women should go through a whole phase, whether that's you fucking whoever you deem necessary, as long as it's protected, sis. Okay, these niggas is out here not getting tested, not drinking their water, not peeing and then shaking and then wiping it like they're going to the gym and not taking showers. Like, niggas is dirty out here, okay? And that could fuck up your pH balance, okay? And another thing, if your pH balance is off with him, he is not the one for you, okay? Because your yoni speaks for yourself. Your yoni, your body lets you know when things are off. When you have a headache, there's something going on. When your nose is runny, when your nose is bleeding, or if you fucking stumped your toe and then it's sore for 5-6 days, your body speaks to you on a metaphysical level. That's something that's going on with you emotionally. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Whole phase, okay?
When talking about your quote-unquote yoni, all right, now, and you got to be careful about these very specific types of women, black women, and y'all know what I'm talking about, all right? These very specific types of black women, okay? Everybody wants to talk about how important their yoni is and how about their pH level, all right? But what is you having this phase going to do to that pH level? That yoni you speak so spiritually about. You think that God has given you this gift to just give to everybody in the world. Logic. Let's continue the video.
I recommend women going through a whole phase. I went through a whole phase myself. Okay, now I didn't sleep with every single nigga that was like blowing my lineup, but I was comfortable. I know what I like and what I don't like. Okay, now a whole phase sexually is different from a whole phase, meaning I'm talking to different people, I'm getting to know people, I'm going on dates. Like, those are things that I think every woman should go through. You should know what you like sexually, and by knowing what you like sexually, that means you have to experience, you have to have partners. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're underage or if you're religious, this video is not for you, okay?
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with just wanting multiple. Why is it that everyone wants to talk about how good sex can be with multiple partners, but they don't understand how much better it is when there's an actual connection? They don't understand how much better it can be when you take out the time as a woman or as a man to teach the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with what to do. All right, this is something that is wildly ignored when talking about this category. And there's no consequences, no problem, no big deal, huh? What about the fact that you're a single mother? Where do you think that stems from? And this is why I always tell men this is another reason, why I always tell men to not date single mothers. Why? Because they're going to have automatic abandonment issues, okay? No matter what happens, they're going to have some type of damage from giving their womb to a man and him walking out on her. Regardless of if that man wasn't going to be around and she knew it before she had the child or not, this is always going to be a problem. Not only that, but she's always going to put her child first. You'll always be walking on eggshells. And if you work for 40 years, for 18 years to raise that child, there's always the chance that she may divorce you and take that child and half of your money with it. And then what's the return on your investment there? All right, liabilities versus assets. Marriage is a business. You cannot jump into that business with so many liabilities. Ladies, you got to finish your family. Sorry, that's the guy you chose. All right, now, unless there's physical violence going on, that's the person you got to try to stick with. Or go get extensive therapy to fix your own personal issues. It's going to be very hard, very, very hard to manage a new relationship while you have baggage from your old one. And this comes from this crazy ideology that there's no consequences from having these phases. All right, let's continue the video.
This is not for you, sis. But if you're not, and if you're grown as shit, because we're all definitely grown, nothing wrong with a healthy sexual appetite. Like, we need to get out of this shameful mentality of like, oh my god, like, keep it on one hand, and I'm gonna be a virgin until I get married. And like, niggas don't think that way. They know what they like and they know what they don't like, and they know how to be sexually pleased. And women, we don't know. We don't know because we haven't experienced that, because there's some shame about how we should operate or move sexually. Now,
okay, I know I'm stopping the video in a weird spot, okay? But we have to be weary of this mentality, okay? Ladies, you are not men, all right? 2 plus 2 equals 4. 3 plus 1 equals 4, okay? They are both equal. They both equal 4, but they are not the same equation. Ladies, you are not men. There are pros and cons of being a woman. Some of the pros, you get into the club for free. If you're under distress, people will help you. If you're under attack, people are more willing to help you. Less likely to be a victim of a violent crime other than the R word, okay? Less likely to have been a part of workplace deaths, okay? Less likely to go to the military and die in the military, which hundreds of millions of young men have done over history. These are some of the pros that you get as a woman, literally benefiting from war without having to lift a finger. Okay, these are benefits of being a woman. Some of the cons: yes, you can't just go out and give your body to everybody. Why? What are the cons to that? Well, you have the ability to get pregnant. Okay, and you'll be pregnant for 9 months, and you'll have that baby for 18 years no matter what. Men, we are designed to spread our seed, and you can see that from the fact that a man can get many women pregnant. Okay, this is just one of the pros of being a man. This is one of the advantages, and there are a lot of disadvantages when it comes to being a man. All right, and women have to understand that. Women, you can't get the advantages and the disadvantages at the same time. Ladies, it's not happening. All right, you have to be responsible for what you choose to do in your life. It is not impressive to see a woman who gives herself to multiple people. That's one of the reasons it's frowned upon, because it doesn't take any skill. Okay, it's not a skill. You don't have to do work. If you text 10 of the men in your phone right now, 9 of them will be willing to do whatever you want to do tonight. Okay, it takes no skill. It's just impulsive, and it is equated to other impulsive behaviors like gaining weight on a whim. Okay, these are things that become impulsive. Not only that, but we're ignoring the direct correlation between the number of sexual partners you have before marriage and how long your marriage is going to last on average. There's a direct correlation of that, ladies. And that is very specific to women. The same correlation does not exist for men. Now, am I saying men should just go out there and put their penis wherever they want to put it? No, that's not what I'm saying either. All right, I don't think it's good on either end for the most part. But I do believe that it has more consequences for women, and I think nature agrees with me when I say it has more consequences for men, both physically and mentally. All right, let's just be completely honest. The shame you're feeling is not society. It's your common sense. It's your consciousness telling you you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Same when it comes to fat shaming. The shame is in your head, all right? Society isn't working against you as a fat person. The shame is all in your head. It's when you look in the mirror and you feel bad because you had that extra piece of cake. All right, that's a problem you have to deal with. I'm sorry I'm going in these rants 2-3 minutes into the video. Let's continue the video, though.
Now, some guidelines, sis, okay? You don't fuck a nigga in the same circle, okay? Circle meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all group of friends, and you have sex with him, you have sex with him, you have sex with him, but you have sex with 2 of them. You don't want niggas to be discussing you in a group, okay? You don't want that. You don't want niggas to be like, see you in a club and then the homeboy from out of town be like, damn, she fine, and nigga be like,
Why don't
that.
you
Or you
want
don't
that?
want
There's
niggas
no
talking
shame
about
attached.
you.
Why don't you want that?
Like,
What would it matter?
that ain't it. That ain't hot. That's not cute, okay? Now, friends are gonna talk about it. Like, if it's just like, you know, if y'all just have sex, because what I've learned is niggas are not gonna talk about their girl or a girl that they had sex with that was like emotionally attached. They're not talking about her, but they're gonna talk about the jump off.
That's pretty
they're gonna
true.
talk about the girl that was just like a hit it and quit it, one night stand, one even like that. They'll talk about that. What I mean is like, you just don't do that. Just don't fuck friends. Like, wait till you see the whole group of friend list first before you fuck a nigga, okay? And also, I think a woman should live alone, and she should know what that feels like to pay her own bills, to not have to answer to anybody, to go out to the club and then come home 3-4 o'clock in the morning when she wants to walk around naked. Like, be liberated. Being liberated is really what a hoe phase is. It's just, she's liberated. She knows what she wants. She's learning what she wants, and she's learning herself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Keep it protected, but also what you do not want to do is have sex with a nigga in the same week. Okay, now that's not what we're gonna do, sis, because again, pH balance, dirtiness, BV, bacterial vaginosis, all of those things, like your yoni can fuck up and you not get an STD. Like, there's other things that are not STDs that are still a viral infection that can just mess up all of that's in there. Okay, you don't want to do that. And how to eliminate: drink your water, mind your business.
Always drink water. That's true.
Nigga Monday and then have sex with another nigga on Wednesday. You don't even want to do it on a Tuesday and then do it on a Sunday. You want to keep it at least like a 2-week type of time frame, okay? Because that just, and then just on the off chance that you do have unprotected sex with one nigga and then 2 days later you have sex with another one, and now you're on the position where it's like, okay, on the off chance that you get pregnant, you don't know who your baby daddy is, and we don't want that for you, sis, okay? So to alleviate all of those problems, keep it a 2-week time frame. Also, don't fucking nigga in the same circle, and keep it wrapped up, okay? And make sure you're getting tested. Like, if you're, I want a healthy sexual appetite. Healthy, emphasis on healthy. Okay, all right. Now, if you are not comfortable,
and I just wanted to talk a little bit, and I'll let it play a while because I have been interrupting and jumping into the video. But why? How have you, ladies, bought this as liberation? Okay, is this just some word that we're all saying just to clap and act like this is what it's not? Okay, I couldn't think of a thing that would be less liberating for women than to just give yourself to every man and to be completely sexualized and objectified like you say you don't want. This is what you say you don't want, but this is what you're willing to do. Okay, which is, it doesn't make sense. And you have other women that are single mothers and do not have a ring on their finger that are teaching women to do this. Okay, it's absolutely ridiculous. You want to talk about something that is not liberating? Let's talk about something that is a commitment for the rest of your life. Pregnancy. That happens from you having unprotected sex with men every 2 weeks, whatever it may be, that has whatever the rules she's set in place. Okay, I couldn't think of a thing that's less liberating, other than what's more liberating than getting a STD, right? A good old STD every now and then. All right, what's more liberating than having a child out of wedlock? All right, making sure your child doesn't ever know his baby father because the baby daddy doesn't want anything to do with you. What's more liberating than that? Black women, you have bought this agenda, and you are 78% having children out of wedlock and 80% obese or overweight. This is the liberation that you wanted. This is what you consider liberating. Literally not being able to get on an airplane without buying 2 seats. This is what you call liberation. Let's continue the video.
With a sexual appetite and having multiple partners, you can talk to more than one person. You can talk to more than one person in a friend group, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with that. Niggas do it all the time. And we need to get it out of the mind frame of like,
men do it all the time.
Just it's about you. Be selfish. It's like about you. Okay. Now, if you want to talk to him, and get to know him, and he take you on a date and he buys you this and he fixes your car, do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Because then that's when you know what you want. Because women don't know what they want. They don't know what they want because we don't experience life like how men experience life. I had always. My always was great. I learned what I want. I learned what I don't want. I learned that a relationship is for me, and I don't belong to the streets, and I don't want to be in the streets.
Oh, that's what you learned.
I don't belong there. I need to get out of there. But yeah, in the midst of, like I said, of Stanley and third relationship, I was experiencing life. I had tremendous fun. Like, I was in Auburn at the time. I was working as a manager for Krispy Kreme. And my son was with my parents, and then he was with me for majority of the time. So I had like a lot of freedom that I was not used to, because again, like, I had got pregnant at 18, 19, 20. I don't know. It just seems like 15 years ago, which it really wasn't. But yeah, I had so much freedom that I wasn't used to. And so I was going on dates after work or before work, or catching a drink, or, I was experiencing life. Now, mind you, it wasn't just a whole bunch of random niggas coming in and out, because that's still not what it's about. At the same time, I was dating multiple people. And that's another thing too, because I said that in my tips. Do not have sex with a nigga if you want to be with him. So for me, like, I was talking to, let's just say I was talking to 5 people. I was having sex with one of them, and I was talking to everybody else, right? And then when that didn't work out, or when it was just because I figured out like what I wanted, I knew that at that moment I didn't want a relationship. And
I'm going to, in the video here, I'm going to give a little bit of my insight to what's going on. One, all right, she claims that women don't know what they want, so they should go and have sex with random men to find out what they want. And I couldn't see that as further from the truth. Every woman, especially American women, know exactly what they want. Okay, now, is their goal obtainable? No. What do they want? 6'5" basketball player that carries a gun, because he likes to shoot people, but he also likes poetry. So he likes long walks on the beach. This is the unicorn that a lot of these women are after, and they think that they're going to get him because they're all 10s, of course. Okay, so I would argue that most women don't know what they bring to the table is the problem. Okay, so maybe instead of going out and figuring out what you want, maybe you should figure out what you offer. Okay, because this is women don't understand that it is the man taking the risk when we get married in 2021. Okay, we're giving away 50% of our stuff, while 80% of the women are the ones filing for the divorces. Okay, so you need to be figuring out what you have to offer to these men that or to the men that you want to be, or that you want to deal with, and to think, and this is her words exactly. These are her words exactly. Well, I won't say exactly, but this is, yeah, you're getting the point. All right, this is what she said earlier. She said, after I did my hoe phase, I figured out that it's not for me. This is what men have to be careful of. Men, be careful of this behavior. There are a lot of women that are out there, quote unquote, living their best lives. And then they want to settle down once the dust is settled, they want to settle down now. Okay, it's okay after I done had 15, 20 people to now go, oh, that's not for me. I want a relationship. How's that going to work? How's that going to work out? Why is this a problem for men? Well, because of things that I discussed earlier. A woman who has more partners is more likely to get a divorce earlier in the relationship. All right. Also, if historically speaking, if we're looking at majority of human history, up until the last 200 years, men were not able to know who was the father of a child. There were no DNA tests. So how did you handle that situation? Well, you didn't deal with the girl that was having sex with everybody in the village. All right? Because if she's having sex and she's promiscuous with everybody in the village, who knows whose child that is you're raising until it's 18? Who knows whose child that is? Okay, and in a time where legacies and heirs and being the farmer's son and the butcher's son and the merchant's son, and you know that when that mattered, you wanted to be sure that what you were building was your legacy and not some other man that she has slept with's legacy. Okay, so men, be very, very careful of this behavior. Ladies, stop preaching it. It's not working. We see through it. It's all BS. It's not helping anybody. In fact, it's probably hurting more black women than any other phenomenon that black women complain about. All right. So if you're worried about abuse, physical abuse, let's look at this. Okay. Let's look at this rhetoric right here when it comes to what is good and bad for women, because I would have to argue that this ideology is much worse than the physical abuse of these than the small minority of physical abuse that's happening in our communities. Okay, so these mentalities are poisonous and they are destroying entire communities and probably the nation soon if we don't get a hold on it as men. Till next time.